What's up, everyone? This is Bacon here, and today we are doing day 1 of a new account on AFK Arena Classic. This account is completely new. I've played a little bit, as you can see, just getting through the boring, intro nonsense. But first time playing Classic in quite a while. I'm kind of excited to see how things are a little different, to kind of start from scratch. It's always kind of fun to try something from the beginning again, because you get the rush of all the new summons and the heroes and all that stuff. And I just think it's fun to start a new account. So the purpose of this is, one, entertainment. Hope you guys like these videos, getting lots of summons and different things. But two, I noticed that a lot of people who watch my companions content did not come from Classic. And so I think it's good to kind of understand, for those newer players, what Classic is. You kind of get a better idea of it if it's something that you want to do, because you can just switch between companions and Classic and play both if that's interesting to you. And so hopefully this is a good kind of a way of seeing what Classic is all about: the good, the bad, the kind of different but not necessarily good or bad, and then just kind of go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So as I said, I'm at 215 as far as chapters go. I can't push any further with what I have. I didn't summon anything, haven't really done anything yet to this point, just because I wanted to save it for the video. But first, let's go ahead and look at some of the things that they offer when you start the game. So there's a lot of different things that you get for free, which is really nice. Companions has similar things, but not exactly the same. So day one, you have your login bonuses for every day. You can see here, this is what I get for the first week. Diamonds, gotta love some diamonds. We'll take those. You get this old dude, Palmer. If I remember, yep, Palmer. I have to refresh my name with all these heroes. You get some nice equipment, more summons. You get a light bearer intelligence gear chest, which assuming should be going to Palmer. More summons, and then 2 copies of Rowan, which is pretty generous. And then you also have Heroes Covenant. So let's see, you basically are going to select one of these heroes, and then you'll get copies of them as you are summoning more heroes in the game. I'm going to go ahead and do Crassio, just because last time I think I did the other guy, so might as well do this. But also Maulers, I feel like, is always pretty weak, and so let's go ahead and do something fun, do something a little different. Let's do Crassio. Those of you who have played Companions, you should know who Crassio is. Pretty common, but you can see here, as you basically get him leveled up and ascended, you will get different kind of rewards, I guess, which is nice. It kind of motivates you to want to progress with this hero, and then they give you bonuses for doing that. Then you can see here, once you get certain things, like get their signature item up, you get more materials. And then in the Classic version, there is a furniture that you can get for your heroes. And as you get different furnitures that are specific to that hero, they basically unlock different skills. It's sort of what the divine effects are like in Companions, but it's in this thing. Same with engravings. You can engrave your heroes, and we'll go over that later. And the last thing is the boot camp. We got some things to collect from some of the work I was doing earlier. And then, as you can see, as you kind of level up and accept different quests, you get all sorts of different things. And then the last one is the choice chest. Oh, for Crucio. So go ahead and I'll get him once I get to 100. And then every day has a different level of kind of quest you can do too. So you don't have to do every single one to get the maxed out amount. So let's go ahead. I think I can unlock. Okay, I got this. So let's go ahead and just use this. See what we get. All right, we get Anasta. I don't think he is really someone that is going to be game-changing or that significant, but at this point in the game, we will take what we can get. Let's go ahead and collect our gold. Let's see if we can level up anyone. So I have my default people here. I'm going to go ahead and reset them. Let's reset him. Let's reset her. And now I'm going to level up my homies. Yep, let's get this dude up. Let's get him to 21, and then let's equip his gear. and then let's level him up, and then let's just see how far we can push in the campaign before we kind of do anything else. Let's just level him up too. There we go. Got everyone to 20 or 21. Let's go ahead and push. I'm not going to do any summons until we have... there we go. Until we have a better idea of what we want. So one thing you'll notice is I can't use my ×2 until I unlock stage 216. I also can't do the kind of like the accelerator in the game until I'm at 228. That's the thing that makes everything go a little bit faster, so the game kind of runs a little smoother on here. But until I get to chapter 2, level 28, I cannot do that. So kind of stuck just kind of slow grinding for a little bit, which is okay. Once I get past this level, which I hopefully can clear, I will unlock the ×2 feature, which will be very nice. Now, if you are coming from companions, one thing to note is that there's certain features in companions that are just quality of life that are nice, and you kind of get them pretty early in the game without doing much, which is a really good pro to companions. Now, with Classic, there are some things that are just a little annoying, a little tedious. It's like, for example, the bounty board. Once this is unlocked, you have to click through every single bounty thing, and you have to put every specific hero that you want on each quest to go out and complete them. And it's really annoying. And eventually you can unlock it where it's like automatic, but to have to do that in the beginning is just really annoying. And that's one thing that just drives me absolutely bonkers. So let's go ahead and see. Yep, got ×2, which is funny. When you get ×2, it makes the normal one seem so slow. But then when you do ×4 and then you go back to ×2 just seems like snail speed. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get through these. I'm not going to just record me doing all this because you don't want to watch me clearing all this. And then we'll come right back and resume and hopefully do some summons soon. Okay, so I've pushed a little bit. I'm on chapter 3. I think I'm about halfway through chapter 3. And one thing to note that I totally forgot is that in Classic, there isn't just like an automatic like feature to go to the next one. I believe you, if I remember correctly, you unlock it later on in the game. So when you first start off, you have to click, it goes back to the home screen after you beat something. You have to click begin, and then you have to go through this every single time, which is a little bit annoying, to be honest. I think there's really not a point to force you to do this. Like, sure, you learn maybe a little bit about the battles, but I think it's just kind of a tedious thing that has just kind of always been there that they really haven't just gone back and retro fixed. I feel like it would be a pretty easy fix to make quality of life better for newer players, but here we are. So before I continue pushing, just going over a few more things that have kind of popped up. If you look at the merchants, there's a lot more ways to buy things in this. And honestly, there's a lot of cheaper options. You can see here, there's stuff like this. You get a good amount for $1. I like when there's a lot of dollar things. This is like a specific event. This is to get a copy of Belinda. You know, they still have the ridiculous price tags of $100 for certain things, but they also have some small ones. You got the wishing ship, which is just something that's always there. Is an annoying thing that always gives you a notification in the shop that you have to clear every day. You also have this kind of stuff, just, you know, the subscriptions, which is in companions, trade posts, which basically every time you level up your VIP privileges, which you can do through either playing the game and progressing, or when you buy stuff, your VIP privileges increase. You get different bonuses. You can see here, there's different things as you progress, and then you can collect a free thing at the top, and then you can buy different packs as you progress. So, and they're very nice as you progress. The prices of the packs go up. And then let's see if there's anything else. That might be the gist of it for now. So that is kind of what the merchants stuff is looking like. Already gone over the boot camp. There is one thing that popped up while I was progressing. There's the library, which in companions, the library or this building here is where you can look at your awakened heroes and stuff like that and see like your progress in that regard. Here you have unions, which basically gives you like little stat bonuses if you add your units to this. You know, I need one more. I need this guy to get this first bonus, and you basically add them to the union gallery, and you get different bonuses. There's not a quick way of adding them, which is annoying. You have to go through and kind of click through every single one, and you get notifications for them. So that's a tedious thing, but you can see there's all sorts of them that you can add to. And then there is the Echoes of Time, which is basically like a lore thing. You can read different lores about some of the awakened heroes. I believe they actually have these for every single awakened hero. You can see there are a lot of them. But if all I have to do is click read and then go back to get 100 diamonds per, you know, tick or whatever, like I guess I can't complain too much about it because that's a lot of diamonds because there's a lot of heroes. So let's go ahead to this one. Same thing, it's just more and more. Awaken Taylene, yay. We're gonna keep going through it. After this one, I'm gonna stop because I'm not gonna make you watch me click through all these. Okay. And then there's just more books of things you can click through. More of a lore thing, but they encourage you to explore it with diamonds, which, you know, if you're gonna give me diamonds, can't complain too much. Here is just a look at the shop as it is. It'll change as I progress in the game. But you can see, it looks a little different. You have the Labyrinth, which is not unlocked or available in the companions. This is what the Labyrinth is. It's just kind of like a maze thing you can do every 2 days. You progress, you fight different units, you get different buffs. There's a similar concept in a lot of other gacha games or games like AFK Arena. So this is just somewhere you get free rewards at the end of it, which is nice. You eventually get to a point where you can just skip it all once you hit a certain point in the game, which is also very nice. The arena looks a little different. You have your basic arena where you have to use these things here. You also get some free ones every day, but you basically have to use those to participate. You can see here, just watching, you do eventually get the opportunity to skip this, which is very nice. Which just also proves that in companions, they can add a skip option, which I don't know why they don't. So, and I might actually lose here. We'll see, we'll see what's going on. I thought this was just going to be an easy dub, but apparently not. I'm getting roasted over here. We'll see if I get my ult off. Maybe. That healing is really annoying, though, from Jerome. Yeah, I'm for sure dying. Okay, as I said, maybe not. All right, so that's what it is. You get a few free ones every day, and then you have to use these to progress. And then you have your legions, which is your teams of 3. And then I think that is all as far as new things that have popped up while I was progressing that I wanted to talk about. But I'm going to keep going and see how far I can get just from progressing. And then I'm going to use my diamonds and scrolls that I earn as I progress to summon. All right, I'm back. And I did some grinding, but I have some diamonds stocked up. I have some scrolls stocked up. I did a lot of puzzles that I've probably done 8 times now at this point, and I am ready to summon some guys. I did get a few shards that gave me some heroes. That's not what I want. So this is kind of what we're looking at right now. Some big exciting ones. Odin is solid. Misha is like very high tier. Misha's great. And then besides that, you know, Anansa is not a terrible unit. He's pretty solid if you can kind of build him up a little bit. So let's go ahead and see what we can get. Let's check out my wish list first. So for the wish list, I have these 5 fellas. I don't remember all their names, unfortunately. I'm not going to go through all the names, but you can see their pictures. That's all you really need to know. Some big ones. These 2, Scarlet and then Pirate Man. Wow, what the frick is his name? Can't remember. These 2 are solid. honestly, Wilders, almost all of them are. Navanthi is good, but these 4 are just really high tier. And then all Graveborn are solid too. I mean, there's so many characters in this game that they're all going to be pretty solid. One thing to note is I unlocked the Dragon Isle. For those of you who have played just Companions, Dragon Isle is where you can summon for Dragon or Draconic heroes. There are 6 that you can summon now. These are kind of like your base tier champions, and then there are some like higher level awakened ones. This costs 5,000 gems to summon for, and these heroes in general, like, it's just not worth it at this point to summon that many. And then these 2 buildings I cannot unlock until later on. Let's see if there's anything else that I unlocked. Don't think so. Yeah, that was pretty much it. So let's go ahead and summon. Let's see what we get. Let's see if we can get any luck going for us, and then go from there. Another snail Misha. That is great, actually. I love Misha. She's a great character. I'm actually really excited to kind of build her up some more. So let's see what we can get. Okay, another Odin. So now I got 2 Odins and 2 Mishas, which is good. It's kind of frustrating when you get a lot of characters but no duplicates. So it's nice to kind of get some duplicates so you can start building them up. All right, we have Vika. Kind of like a thick panda bear is what I kind of look at her. That's what I think when I see her, at least. Maybe others don't. Ooh, this is a solid one too. Noroko is really good. Tanky, does damage, just really fun hero. She has her little, like, what is it even? Young Nadia is like this big worm thing that comes up and does stuff. So happy about that one. All right, that is all of them. Got some good resources too. I don't know why it's telling me to look at their... Okay, let's see. Let's go with... I'm debating between Wilders and Graveborn. Let's do it. Let's do Graveborn. There we go. Ivan is really good too. So that is an exciting one to get. Honestly, the ones I did get were really good units. Let's go ahead and collect some stuff. I might get enough diamonds to go ahead and summon for some more. Let's see. Let's say there's gotta be some boot camp stuff. Dang, not enough. What do I need to do for this? Oh, I need to send him. Okay. Let's go ahead and send these guys. Very nice. I can't do anything with her. Can't do anything with Odin. You know, it's at this point I'm not gonna have enough feed to really do anything with these guys. Come on, I just need like... Oh no, I have enough now. Okay, let's do one more. See what we get. All right, nothing. Just some more feed, which we need, so can't complain too much about that. Probably save these, see if I can get some purples, and then I'll get the feed too. I think I have enough for both with how many like extra summons I'll have. So that is that's my first kind of big pull. I can go ahead and level up some of my homies. We'll get Odin up there. I need to... Let's do the resonating crystal. Dang, I don't know why I did that. Okay. Oh, but I can do this. Okay. So I'm going to remove... I'm going to reset him and him. I'm going to go ahead, level... Yep. Level her up. Keep going. Boo, boo, boo. might be able to get her to 61. Nice. Okay. Get her to 61. And then I'm going to level up Naruko. And I actually think I used some of her purple essence, so I'm not going to be able to get her up to plus 40, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and keep pushing. That should be enough to get some more progress in campaign in the towers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And that is that's my summons for this video. All right, it's me, but a day later, I have made some good progress on this new account. So far, I am on chapter 7, 20, and I have loved up my characters, about 80, 70-ish range. I started using Ivan more than Misha, and Ivan's been doing pretty solid, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think Ivan, just without much investment, is a little bit more useful than Misha at this point, but I think she might kind of pop off a little more as you can invest a little bit more into her. So for those of you who have never played the classic version, I'm going to go over a few things that I've kind of unlocked or I'm close to getting. The big thing when you start an account is trying to get to chapter 16.1, and that is when you can use your stargazing scrolls and your time emblems, and then also your Draconis insignias. These are basically what you use to summon the more powerful heroes in the game. You can get awakened ones here. You can get the awakened dragon Draconis heroes variations there. And then stargazing is where you can get celestials and hypogenes. And that is how you get arguably one of the best units in the game. Where is he? Here. Liberta is just, a power horse, like all around an amazing hero. He, looks cool, but he's just super strong, super good, viable in so many parts of the game. And so as soon as you can start pulling your cards for him, the better. And then by the time you get to 16.1, you should have a decent amount stocked up. So you should be good to go then. There's also a lot of codes that are still work. So if you want to get some free summons, make sure you do that. I got some scrolls and all this stuff from just using some codes. So with that being said, there's a few other things. Ghoulish Gallery. This is a kind of... Actually, let's go back. So if you play Companions, you'll notice this slot here is like empty. There's just nothing there. In Classic, you can use two things there. You can use an artifact, which you get from doing different voyages of wonders and different activities. And they give different shields and you can enhance them and so forth. Now, the other way, and this is a very negatively viewed part of the game, is the Ghoulish Gallery. You basically have to go through this, I don't want to call it a mini game, but this activity or exploration or whatever, and you can get different things or attachments to go in the spot of where that little square in the bottom right of your character's screen is. And it gives you different buffs and abilities depending on what it is. The thing that people don't like is, one, it takes some time. You need resources that cost money, real life, or you can just use diamonds in the game, but it's really slow to accumulate them. But also, it's just very RNG. The stats you get on them is just very all over the place. It takes a ton of investment, some luck. It's just, and honestly, it's just a complicated system. It's very, unnecessary. I feel like it was just added just for kind of a cash grab type of thing. Similarly, that's kind of how a lot of people view the Dragon Isle. A lot of the characters are really strong, but it's just really hard to get copies of. I mean, to summon normal ones, you need 5,000 diamonds, and then you need these bad boys to summon for the really strong heroes. And it's just kind of, no one really likes it. The heroes look really aesthetically pleasing, but just kind of an annoying addition to the game. They just didn't implement it very well, made it very hard to kind of build up, and so on and so forth. So one additional thing I want to mention is there's currently a new hero, a new Draconis hero that's out, Leviathan. I don't know anything about him. I'm assuming it'll be decent, but when a new hero was released in Classic version, you can use them for 3 days and basically just use them for whatever. And there's no limit to how much you can use them. You're basically your hero for 3 days, which is a really nice thing that they have in Classic that allows you to, one, try out a hero, see if they're really good or not. see what areas they might be viable in. And there's no like limitations. They're pretty much built out to the max or close to the max. And so they're very, kind of gives you like what they can do at their max, capacity or max strength. But for those of you who are very new to the game, you can use them to really push far in campaign and towers and other thing. I'm going to save him for a little bit so I can use him to kind of push once I get really hard stuck. But I could put him in and he will push me through chapters and chapters. And I can just use him in my team. He will carry me hard. The only downside is once I can't use him anymore, once my 3 days are up, my team's just going to be like, okay, I can't do anything for a little while. But it's definitely worth it because you get more AFK rewards and different things. So that is one thing that is nice. I'm not really sure why they don't have it in companions. It seems like it would be a nice way to kind of attract people to use that hero. Maybe they don't want to let people borrow it because then they won't use their Destiny scrolls on it or buy things. I'm sure there's some reason why they don't do it that is incentivized by money, but who knows? We'll see. As far as how I'm doing, though, King's Tower, I'm at 95. I forgot what point I can get the other faction towers, but I'm sure I'm getting there soon. I cleared Arcane Labyrinth, did some Voyage of Wonders, and that is where I'm at. But I have some more summons, so I'm going to go ahead and get into summoning my final kind of bit of summons. I want to summon Maulers because I need to get Crassio up so I can get some of the rewards. Where's it at? From here. So I can get more copy scrolls, get more things, and so on and so forth. I don't know if it's actually worth it doing all these things, but I think it's just fun to kind of follow through with it. It kind of gives you something to focus on. And also, there's actually some really solid maulers in the game. So it's not like companions where there's not very many maulers. And this is one of them. Goran is a really good Mauler hero, good hero in general in the game. He's not just good for the Mauler faction, but he's just good. And look at that. I got Crassio, so that's perfect. That's exactly what I needed, actually. And so now I can go ahead and just summon these. Oops, did not want to do that. Go ahead and summon these. Gosh dang, now I have to summon 9 scrolls in a row, which is really annoying. Okay, so the reason that's big that I got him is now I can go ahead and ascend him. And then I should get the first part, more scrolls. So now I got him in Elite Plus, I get 10 more scrolls. And then once I get him Legendary Plus, I get 20 more, so on and so forth. Oh, and I get 10 more here. Thank you, Rowan. Very nice of you. All right, let's go ahead and... Wait, maybe I can get some scrolls here? Nope, okay. Let's go ahead and summon the rest of these normal ones, though. See if I can get some copies of heroes I already have. Another one of those is actually really nice. Scarlet is a really good hero. She's good for clan boss, or guild boss, rather. She does a lot of damage. Really good hero. It has been for a while. She's kind of held her own for, the free-to-play, not high-spender camp. Levanti, good hero too. All 3 of those are good grabs, so happy about that one. The triple one's crazy too, so we'll see. Keep it coming. Keep the summons coming. Okay, there's another one, another new one. Ooh, Atheus. He's a good wilder hero. He's one of my favorites, actually. That is not in companions. Okay, we're going to go ahead and use some diamonds. Okay, I already have a copy of her, so I'll definitely use her duplicate on her to kind of get her up to Elite Plus. I think I'm close to getting to the point where I can get some heroes to Legendary. Okay, Palmer's a great one. He's just all around a great one. And then another copy of her, so can't complain too much about that. Okay. Now, unfortunately, because I accidentally summoned... Let's do Graveborn. I don't know why. I'm just feeling Graveborns. Okay, well, I don't really want you. But, whatever. Okay. Let's do these because I accidentally used one of my scrolls solo, unfortunately. Okay, he's solid. I don't really know what Randall does. I just know he is on the most tier list. He's really high. So he kind of came out right around the time I quit. Okay, let's just double check. Nothing else to do. Let's go ahead and ascend. Thank you. Ascend. All right, so I can get him up. Yes, I do want to do that. I need one more copy of him to level him up. I don't think I'm going to level Palmer up quite yet. I need a little bit more for Odin. All right. Let's go ahead and see what quest we completed. All right, I'm getting a lot of things to level up my homies with. We will get him to 81. 81. Where's my... I don't know the order. I need to... There we go. The order was kind of funky. I don't like it. I like it when it's in combat order. Let's go ahead and get Ivan up to 81. And then that leaves Nasta. I might reset Nasta and put her in. I don't know. He's kind of tanky. We'll leave him for now. We'll see how he fares. All right, and then let's just go ahead and level up him one more time. I'm gonna push as far as I can, and then once I've pushed him, I'm gonna use these to level up some stuff a little bit more, and then we'll go from there. But that's the end of my first kind of few days of playing Classic. Hopefully, for those of you who have not played Classic, it is somewhat entertaining. I think it's cool. I think it's fun to see the other side of AFK Arena. Kind of missed some aspects of the game, but I do not miss others. But kind of playing from a fresh account is always exciting fun. I like doing it. So thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions, comments, make sure you leave them below. And as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.